Barakatah Yahuwah, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahuwah, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahuwah, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahuwah, Barakatah Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone. Honors and salutations to all you Akim out there that's laboring in the truth and sincerity without wavering. All right, and this is another GMS en route, and it's going to be simply don't be surprised, because through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we see what's been happening. This whole pretty much month everything's been geared towards demonizing the Hebrew Israelites, and in particular, we know they're speaking about us, but that's cool, because they're supposed to do that. For one, they're the devil. The word devil means deceiver. And see, the Most High set Esau up too. And now Esau's about to find out he's not that power that he think he is. But what they're doing, and again, like I said in the previous videos, their power, one of the main powers of Esau, not just to mention their military power, which now, which that's another story, man. There's so much things happening, brothers. And I'm mad because I got to go to this job right now. Really wanted to do, Spirit was on me because there's so much information coming out, of course, pertaining to the prophecies that's going on, but I'm sure that the Spirit's going to have other brothers and Lord willing, if I get a chance to get back to it. But Esau ain't got the power the juice that he thought he had, like the scripture said in Isaiah 14, let the weak now say that I'm strong. No, thou become as weak as us, because why? Right now, these other nations, the battlefield is a little even now. But before it was lopsided. The United States were the only people that had control over the, a nuclear, or not nuclear, but atomic weaponry, going back to, what is it, Fat Boy, Little Man and Fat Boy, if I'm saying the names of them correctly. So now all these other nations, everybody done advanced their nuclear program, you see. But now going back to the thing of these they said in this few articles, and we know that there's no such thing as a coincidence, and it all coincides, because what Esau always does, they like I said, their power is the media, so they control people with their media. They sway people's mind whichever way they want it to go. They showed you that in that movie 1884, which is a good movie. It's back up on Netflix and all the other joints. And what they do is they show you how that's all they got to do is they program people through the media, through the TV, through the monitor and the screen, because people are still plugged into the matrix, so to speak. So they believe anything that they see. So what they've been doing, they said in 2 weeks or whatever, they had 8 anti-Semitic attacks. And this thing is going, because they said it was the recent one was in Rockland County, right? They said that we're right while they celebrating, during the time of their so-called Hanukkah, all right? During the time of their Hanukkah, they said that there's been 8 different attacks. And Esau, and you look at it, it's just bullshit. They had supposedly a crazy bitch, this black bitch, supposedly punched a so-called old Jew bitch in the face, right? The Amalekite punched her in the face, and then they locked her up or whatever, charged as a hate crime. But then they released her because of a loophole that only applies to certain individuals. You can look this up, man. Lord willing, if I get a chance to, I'm gonna find an article and do it. Right now I'm just putting it out there raw and en route. You can look it up. But they pick and choose who they can let go, if you're accused for a hate crime. So they let this crazy bitch go. And what that does is stir the pot up and everything, which the so-called Jew, we know that they run everything, and they're basically trying to make the whole world feel sorry for these devils, which done stole every goddamn thing. They're the reason why all the violence, like when it speaks in Psalms, I believe it's the 58th chapter, ye that weigh the violence of the earth in your hand. Who do you think is controlling all these wars and everything? All right? Because all wars have to be financed. Wars cost money. It costs money to go to war. You see? So who's fitting the bill? Guess what? It's the same person that's footing the bill for both sides. That's how they're able to decide on who's the winner. You see? And it goes back to the so-called Jews, to the Rothschilds, man. You see? Which, like Apostle Rakad made a point yesterday at the camp, they all connected to the Rothschilds, man. They're not separate families jockeying for position. They're all part of the Rothschild dynasty, man. But they just like you had the Dukes of Edom. You know what I'm saying? They all Edomites at the end of the day. But for us saying these things and exposing it, this is why they come against us, and now they staging these. They do have a thing called false flags. You can choose to believe it or not, you know? You can choose, just like people could choose to believe if it's wrong for a man to wear a goddamn dress, which that should be a fucking no-brainer. But now, in this day and age, people, you got the freedom of, you can choose whatever the hell you want to choose in this society, this backwards ass society. And everything that's here is upside down. That's why I tell you in Isaiah, the 29th chapter, I believe it is, surely you're turning the things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. But now, what they doing is and it's no coincidence, man. You got all of these, so-called Jews. It is like 5 of them supposedly got stabbed up while they were celebrating Hanukkah. And the guy they keep getting a Jake that looked like he's probably with a beard and everything. And then don't be surprised to come out, oh yeah, he watched Hebrew Israelites videos or whatever, because they've been trying to tie us to all these different stages. A lot of these events are staged. Some of them might actually be situations that they're using to garner sympathy. They're trying to, because while people sitting there thinking that they're being attacked, and you got people from other countries, of course, that devil Benjamin Netanyahu, and they condemning it, calling it a terrorist attack, right? AntiSemitism, which is bullshit, because when the Spirit had Apostle Ramla going on that word Semite or Semitism, and even the elder brother Ayatham put some up on that too. So, and when you go into it, when you watch some videos, which the brothers went into it, when you find out that there's no such thing as anti-Semitism, and there's no way that a so-called black man could be anti-Semitic, as they say, which the man's name is actually Shem. So properly it should be anti-Shemitic. But you know how the so-called white man in this day and age going into 2020, he likes to change up everything. But there's no way possible that a so-called black man could be anti-Semitic, because we're saying we come from Shem as well. And we say that the so-called white man comes from Shem. So we're not against Shem. Shem is one of the forefathers, man. But now the nations were separated, like the sons of Abraham were. You got the Ishmaelites when you go into the table of nations, right? Then you got you got the fathers of the promise, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, our claim, according to the Bible, the Torah, history, and the spirit, overall, the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, is that we're the real 12 tribes of Israel. The brothers and sisters you see us on the signs, those of Negro and Indian descent throughout North, Central, and South America, and also scattered throughout all 4 corners of the earth. So through the spirit of the Lord, we bring, that's one of the key messages, that we're the real Israelites, and the Lord is coming back to deliver us. All right? So when they set these people up, calling them anti that, is just nonsense, because we can't be against who we are. All right? But that's the play on word, the new speak, how they keep changing the meaning of words in the dictionaries, and that's what they do, so for their purpose, for their agenda. So that way they could justify them going in and murdering, hundreds of so-called Negroes, hundreds of so-called Native American Indians. You understand? And they want to murder the Hebrew Israelites, man. So that's why they making it seem like the Hebrew Israelites are the worst thing on the earth. Here it is, when you got these rabbis, I'm pretty sure they all linked to all these different groups of so-called Jews or whatever. You got all these rabbis that are known for giving syphilis to the so-called Jewish community by circumcising the kids when they're young, when they're babies, with their mouth. To show you how perverted they are, man. And let's not forget that they deal with the Talmud. The Talmud speaks about having sex with little babies, and you look at, that's why they always, when you see these so-called Jews or whatever they want to call themselves, when you see these rats, a lot of times, a lot of them can't even look at you, because they know that they're guilty, man. They know, just like these Roman Catholic priests, they do the same thing because it's in their nature, it's in their spirit. And they actually got a foul book, which we don't deal nothing with no Talmud that speaks on these things, and where they, you know, it tells them that it's okay for them to do these things. But there's no outrage for that. There's no anti-Semitism against these rabbis biting off these other so-called Jews' penises. I mean, not biting, I mean, circumcising, pardon me, right? Ain't no outrage over that. That gets swept under the rug. But then, you know, you have all these alleged attacks, and they bring that to the forefront, you see? And meanwhile, behind the scenes, you got Iran declaring all Americans to get the hell out of there, man. Why you think they're doing that? Why you think, and notice this all happening going into New Year's Eve, as the Spirit had to say for the longest, all right, 2019 being a year of Charagma, but the Lord's going to bring in 2020 with a blast, man. It's going to be a blast, man, and that's why I said, brothers, don't be surprised. You see all these things, even if, you know, you see motherfuckers roll up on you, grab you up at the camp last night. Same Amalekite that called the cops on us last year, right? He called the cops on us. Here it is, many things that we say or whatever. That one time when that so-called Jew came out there, the cops rolled up on us, want ID, this, that, and third, and when normally the cops out there in Springfield, for the most part, a lot of them, they saluted us when they seen us out there. But that day, you know, so the motherfucker came out there again yesterday trying to incite some shit, trying to step to us and talk, you know. It's like, man, we got nothing to say to you, man. You the devil. You know, we know what you about, man. But don't be surprised. The scriptures say your adversary, the devil, go as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. And this is a beautiful thing because now this is going to expose all the true brothers, man. Hey, remember the parable of the Sower Seed? You know, it said when the tribulation come, by and by he's offended. So you're going to have a lot of brothers as they see the demonization of the Israelites, they're going to start, you know what I'm saying, taking off their colors, so to speak. They're going to stop being Israelites, in other words, you know? And you're going to see a lot of people, they're going to side with these devils, man. A lot of our people, okay? Because remember, it tells you in Jeremiah 5:26 that my people will become more wicked than the wicked. So, yeah, you know, the black devils, the demons amongst our people, they're going to be siding with the so-called white man trying to take down the Hebrew Israelites. But then that's when they're going to run into a brick wall because the Lord said he's going to raise up a standard against them, man. You know? But now, I just wanted to read before, you know, it's like I said, Lord willing, I hope I get a chance to get to, there's a lot of things happening, man. You know, and it's Lord willing, through the Spirit this week, you know, brothers going to get together, do their filming at the New Year's Eve of Destruction, apostles and elders. I'm pretty sure all kind of nothing but fire information going to be coming out, you know, Lord willing. You know, because we're in a time now, Esau, that's another thing. They want to sit there and black out the internet and change up the freedom of the internet, you see? So there's a lot of things that Esau got going on. There's a lot of legislation behind the scene that they're working on and trying to pass through. All right, but now this is Lamentations chapter 5, verse 1. And the book of Lamentations is deep too. Need not to tell you brothers, man. I know you brothers already know all about this, man. But through the Spirit, I just want to go into Lamentations 5:1. It says, remember, O Lord, what has come upon us. And this is the real Israelites, man. All right? You want to talk about, what do you call so-called Negroes getting shot in the streets, man? So-called Negroes being fed poison food, GMO foods, water system. And this all is documented, man. All right? The land being taken from the Native American Indians. What do you call that? Planned Parenthood. All right? These different whack-ass churches in the different urban areas where our people are at, huh? What do you call that? Being robbed of your identity, man. You see? What do you call that? You want to call, if 5 people getting killed is a terrorist attack, what do you call bringing millions of so-called Negroes here on cargo slave ships? What do you call that then? You understand? So that's why it says, remember, Lord, what has come upon us. And again, what happened to our people ain't nobody went through what our people went through the slavery, rape, robbing, and murder. We're talking about going into millions to billions of lives lost, man. And still to this day. Oh, you think that the drugs just came, you know, poppy seeds grow inside the projects, right? Right in the back of building 10, right? They got the poppy forest and all that. Nah, man. That was an agenda. You understand? When you got to overstand the whole situation, man. You see, it was a setup. It's been a setup. It said our inheritance is turned to strangers. Look at that. Our inheritance, because our inheritance don't go to Africa. First of all, Africa is a name that was given to that continent by the so-called white man. So when you call yourself African, you still lost, man. All right, and no, we're not Africans, man. We're the Israelites, okay? But our inheritance is turned to strangers because why? There's thieves in the temple, as Prince sung in that song. And when you look at it, these other, you already know who walking around identifying themselves, saying that they're us. I don't got to break that down. You already know who's going around. The same ones that's causing all that control the media, that control the world, the same one that's passing these laws for these homosexuals to have right. Said our inheritance is turned to strangers, man. And that's the prophecy, because the real Israelites, it tell you in Jeremiah 17:9 that thou shalt discontinue from thy heritage. So the real Israelites are not going to be following their real heritage. And when you see the so-called Negroes, look at what they following. They following everything but being an Israelite, man. That's why they say we're small groups. But the Lord set it up that way. You see? You got Negroes that are into Buddhism, Negroes into Islam, Roman Catholic Church. And when I say Negroes, I'm talking about even the other tribes, man. The Latin tribes, the Native American Indian tribes. Because they're Israelites too, from their perspective tribe that they come from. You got niggas into gangbanging as a religion, as a culture. They following everything other than what the Heavenly Father, their creator, created them to be. You see, because that's the prophecy. And also because it was done craftily by the elites, man. They didn't just steal our land. They didn't steal our mineral resources. They stole our identity, man. All right, identity theft, man. You got these, if you steal somebody's credit card, right, and run up a bill on their credit card, normally you're supposed to be facing some hard time, right? Fed time, serious time. So what happens if you steal a nation's identity for over 400, 500 years, man, right? And trick the people and make them think that you're that actual people? What do you think is going to happen to you, man? You see? And guess what? It ain't going to go to you. We ain't worried about appealing nothing, man. We don't got to appeal nothing. The judgment's already laid, man. And like the Spirit was on Apostle Rakai yesterday, he said it, which is true. All right? The Spirit is going to come on Yahweh Shai. The Lord is going to let Yahweh Shai get busy and lay all the judgment and lay the smack down, man. All right? I believe that's John 5:22. So all judgment has been committed into the Son. The Most High gave Yahweh Shai all that power, man. And you're going to see it, man. So that's why we don't give a damn, man. You keep doing your slander campaigns, keep sitting there, sending your agents, trying to, set us up or whatever. That's what it all is at the end of the day. Whether people listen to us or not, at the end of the day, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, we stand justified before the Lord. All right? Because we're speaking the words of the Lord. And the Lord is about to come back, man. Okay? You can call that whatever you want to call it. All right? It says, we are orphans and fatherless. Who's that speaking about, man? These so-called Jews, they have their fathers, they're walking them to their temples and home, you know what I'm saying? Who's fatherless? Jake, so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos. A lot of Negroes and Latinos grew up with single-parent homes, man, raised by their mothers, man. All of us grew up like that. So this is speaking about our people. It said we are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We have drunken our water for money. Yeah, and shit, we got to pay you got to get bottled water, man. Because why? This devil done fucked up the regular water, the water system, right? It says our water is sold into us, man. You see? On our own land, we got to sit there and pay rent. We got, for shit that we done built up, man. It says, and it's fucked up, because you be in construction and shit, right? And you be like, damn, all these homes and houses that you built in, but you ain't got one that you can call your own. But then you got to remember that we under those curses, man. So that's why, things are the way they are. The Lord said he shall lend unto thee, and thou should not be able to lend unto him. All right, he's the lender, we're the borrower. All right, Jake, I don't give a damn what level you on. If you want to get credit, you got to go to the so-called white man. All right, even Akon, he went the way he which proves he's a Jake, because he jaked it. He went to China, which is another nation. All right, but a lot of the officials over there in China go back to the so-called white man too. Don't think that the so-called white man is not running these other countries, man. They got a lot of influence with a lot of these other powers, and a lot of their seed is mingled in there too. Remember, you got the thing of the wheat and the tares too, and it ain't just amongst Israel. You got a lot of these Chinese demons that go back to the Ottoman Turks, man. Genghis Khan and all them other devils from the Ottoman Empire, right? But anyway, he went and got a $5 million credit. He ain't, he had to go still get credit, even though he's a major pop star with all the celebrity status and everything. He still had, because why? That's the curse. You see, that's the curses, man. It says, our necks are under persecution. You see? And that's what they're doing. Persecution's up to the neck. Every time you see them speak about anti-Semitism, they made this thing worldwide, man. They got it on, CNN, Euro News, RT News, wherever you look, they pushing this story where you got all kind of other devastation going on that's not getting the same light. So it shows you that it's an agenda. All right, if you can't see that, then you can't see much. It says, our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. Who's that talking about, man? These devils, here it is a fucking so-called Sunday. This is the day of rest in this society. Right now I'm actually going to a fucking job, man. That I really don't want to. I don't love doing, and I'm sure the rest of you other brothers is just the same, man. So this is talking about our people, man. And this is a prayer for the Lord to remember and to deliver us up out of this situation. And at the end of the day, only Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is going to save us out of this situation. So that's why we got to turn our spirits, our mind, our heart to the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right? It says, we have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread, meaning laboring, breaking our necks, man. All right, we done labor to build up this goddamn country, man. It says, our fathers have sinned and are not. And that's why we fell, because of what? Because of our iniquities, man. It says, there's none that doeth deliver us out of their hand. And who's really always going back to the 60s and they all sold out, man. All the so-called leaders of the so-called Negroes, man. All the politicians, your Jesse jackasses, your Malcolm X's, your Farrakhan's, your Adam Clayton Powell, all of them, Jesse, Al Sharpton. All right, those were leaders of Jake. Where the hell are they? What legacy did they really leave behind? You understand? That Jake could benefit from. As far as they didn't, and none of them really told Jake who they are, and that's the most important thing. That's the worst thing about this captivity to us, is that our people are lost and don't even know that they're the Israelites. It says, servants have ruled over us. There is none that doth deliver us out of their hand. So that's speaking about Esau, man. And there's nobody to deliver. Ain't nobody, no savior came. People told Marcus Garvey leading the slate. Man, listen, ain't nobody saved us, man. A lot of them guys were demigods, and most of them were set up anyway. It says, we got our bread with the pearl of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness. Speaking about all the hell that we could, just to basically to eat, man. And the scriptures speak of this place as the valley of the shadow of death, meaning you could die any minute in this place, man, from sickness, from being shot by the cops, being shot by a wicked ass nigga trying to rob you or whatever, or getting caught in some gang bullshit shootout. You see what I'm saying? So that's why Jake is supposed to be praying for another place, man. This is a wicked, filthy ass place, man. Look at the fucking prison system that they got here. All right, and it's all perpetrated by the so-called white man. You know how many Jakes in here that are innocent, meaning so-called Negroes, Latinos, right? That are innocent, that didn't commit the crimes they said that they are, but yet they go in there and then they, by some other wicked ass cock diesel booty bandit ass niggas end up breaking the nigga, destroying the nigga whole soul, That prison system is fucking wicked as all hell, man. And niggas that justify that wickedness, man, the Most High gonna get rid of these niggas, man. And you should be looking for these things, man. If you got any type of righteousness in you, you got any type of righteousness in you, and this is what the Lord coming back is the end of all this bullshit, all the misery, the the oppression, the wickedness of our people, you see? But anyway, that's the main point, man. I mean, like I said, don't be surprised at the things that are happening. We almost out of here. And real soon we're gonna be out of here. You know, and Esau's gonna keep being the devil, keep showing his colors, and, you know, prove to our people that he's the devil, man. That's why the scriptures say never trust our enemies, man. So just stay vigilant, man. Just stay watching, man. Be sober-minded. So with that, give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and say shalom to you sincere Akim. Shalom.